In today's video, folks, I'm going to show you how to make the easiest, fail-safe, most delicious pulled pork using A&W root beer. You don't want to miss this. It's easy and delicious. As you heard, folks, this is the simplest way to make pulled pork, and it comes out delicious every single time, and it's so easy to put together. So I'm going to try to show you how to make this in the quickest amount of time possible. So we're going to get right to it, folks. I'm going to go over the ingredients. Now, this is purely optional because, to tell you the truth, doing this in a slow cooker, these are onions, and they're going to turn them to mush, but I want that flavor infused into this pulled pork. Here we have a pork shoulder. It's about a 2.5 pound pork shoulder. Happened to be on sale this week, and I've been waiting for that to go on sale for a while now. So in addition to that, I'm going to season it with some Le Grill by Clubhouse pork seasoning. You can use whatever type of seasoning you like. It doesn't matter, as long as it's a friendly pork seasoning. This one is a blend that's already done up. I know there's Montreal spice and all kinds of other kinds. So whatever kind of pork seasoning you want to use, then go ahead. And then we have here my favorite barbecue sauce, which is Sweet Baby Ray's. Again, you can use whatever kind of barbecue sauce you prefer. Here's the key, folks. A&W root beer. Now for pop, you can also use Dr. Pepper. You can use Coca-Cola. You can use Pepsi. Dr. Pepper is a really good addition. If I wasn't using root beer, personally, I'd be using Dr. Pepper in it. And basically, all we're going to do, and then we have salt here. All we're going to do, folks, is we're going to season the pork with this pork seasoning. And then I'm going to put some salt on it as well. We're going to put that into the slow cooker and then add the onions and the A&W root beer. Not the barbecue sauce. We're going to leave that until the end, and we're going to let that cook. So I'm going to start seasoning this pork shoulder. I'm getting this ready so I can put it on first thing tomorrow morning when I wake up. Stay tuned, folks. I'm going to get this pork seasoned up. Then I'm going to put it in a freezer bag, put it in the fridge overnight. So there you have it, folks. I didn't need to waste your time as I shook the seasoning onto the pork. So I generously coated it on, make sure every bit of the pork is covered with that seasoning. I'm going to put that into a Ziploc bag. I've already got my onions in a container. I'm just going to put the lid on that, seal it up, and that's going to be ready to go first thing in the morning. Next time we're back, folks, it'll be morning. We'll be putting this in the slow cooker. Okay, folks, here we are, bright and early in the morning. We're going to put this on. So I'm going to put my onions down on the bottom, because once I pour the pop into this, or soda, whatever you call it, the onions are just going to float. So I'm just going to form like a bed, and then I'm going to put my pork shoulder in. Look at that, all seasoned. Put that right on top of the onion. That way the onion flavor is going to permeate all the way through. Now the next step, and this is it, folks. Well, could you hear that? That was the sound of the root beer. So we're going to pour this in, but we're not going to pour it right on top of the pork. Don't worry about it foaming up. And you want to pour just enough till you get up to the top. There. Just enough to cover it all. Now that we have that in, put the lid on, and then we're going to let that cook for about 6 hours. Now, depending on the size of the pork shoulder that you're going to be cooking, if it's a bigger one, then it may take 8 hours to cook. And you know that it's done when you can pull this apart with the fork. I'll bring you back when we're ready for the next step. Okay, folks, it's been about 6.5 hours. We're going to check and see if this pork shoulder is done. Watch out for the steam, folks. This is the first time I've cracked the lid here. Okay, folks, the smell that's coming from this is just incredible. So let's just go see. Let's take a piece. Oh, yeah, this is done. Look at that. The pork just breaks apart. So the next step, folks, is I've got to drain all of this liquid out of here, and so that we're just left with the pork. This bone, we're going to be able to pick that right out. So stay tuned, folks. I'll bring you back when we're ready to start the next step. Okay, folks, so all of the Pepsi's dunked out of it. I'm going to get this bone out of here. Hot, hot, hot. And then I'm just going to take and I'm going to shred this up with the fork. And I've reserved probably about 4 or 5 tablespoons of the liquid that was in there to keep with it. So we're going to shred this all up nice with the fork. And then I'm going to add in some barbecue sauce. So you want enough that it's going to cover this up and fully coat the pork. So again, you can use whatever your favorite barbecue sauce is. You can make it your own. Add some more in there. I'll let you know how much of the bottle I use. And again, this is about a 2.5 pound pork shoulder. And I'm about 2/3 of the bottle there now. I'm using the whole bottle of sauce in here. That's going to be just enough. Give that one final stir, mix those in. So again, folks, I'm going to leave this on low for 1 hour. Then we're ready to taste. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, so it's been an hour. We're ready to take this lid off. Oh, look at that. Oh boy. A nice glaze. See how when you cook it for an extra hour, that's what gives it a nice glaze. So folks, I'm going to let this cool down, and then next time you see me, I'll be in my office in the car for a taste test. Okay, folks, here's what we're dealing with. Look at the caramelization on that pulled pork. Doesn't that look good? And then I'm going to top it off with some mayonnaise and some mustard. This is the easiest way to make pulled pork, and it comes out perfect every time. Folks, I'm going in. Okay, folks, so here's what we're dealing with here. Look at that. Pulled pork made with A&W root beer. Oh, let's see how it tastes, folks. Proof is in the pudding. Delicious. The pork is so tender, it almost melts in your mouth. And the caramelization, like the sweetness of that barbecue sauce is coming through. And don't think that because you cooked it with root beer, it's going to taste like root beer. It's not. You're adding those sugars and flavors into the pork, and that's helping break it down. This turns out great every time, and it's the easiest thing in the world to make. As I said at the beginning, the pork rub that you put on it, whatever your favorite blend is to use, make it your own. The barbecue sauce, I happen to like Sweet Baby Ray's or whatever it's called, but I've used other types of barbecue sauce. Make it your own. It's simple. It's easy. All you do is add a bottle of whatever kind of soda or pop that you want to use. I've made it with Dr. Pepper before, and that's turned out good, and I've made it with Pepsi. It's delicious. Anyway, thanks everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I know it's been a long time since I put a recipe video out, but I've kind of gone through all of my really good recipes that I know of. So I was waiting for a time for pork shoulder to go on sale, so I could make you one. If I'm going to put a recipe out there, it's got to be delicious. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste your time watching the video, and I'm not going to waste my time making the video for it. So I was glad that pork shoulder came on sale, and I was able to do this video for you today. If you're new here, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I do a lot of reviews and also pepper in with some great recipes. I have everything categorized in playlists if you want to go check it out. And plus, there should be a playlist that should be popping up in the video that YouTube thinks that you may like. If it is something that you like, then please consider subscribing. Thanks, everyone. Jamie, signing off. This gets a Brady score for sure. So good.